Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here to some more Fan Fridays, and this is what Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is all about. Simple, Clangorous Soulblaze. Oh yeah, let's go and see how this one works. And we got to do this in double so we get that simple setup going. And it looks like the catalyst for Simple is going to be the Genesect using Simple Beam. That's going to make things a little interesting, so let's go and watch how it plays out, and then the overall results. Because the cool thing about Soulblaze is that it actually hits both opponents. So we're dealing good amounts of damage under a good amount of support. Darkrai, it's so nerfed in this generation. Is it even, is it even a threat at this point? Like, it can be threatening, but it's not something to, like, super worry about. And the opponent is going to turn that into the Mega Garchomp. We just have to see where this goes. This could get pretty interesting. But yeah, once you get that simple and then +1 to all your stats becoming +2 to all your stats, it's just GG from there. And then the double avoid showing what's about with that Darkrai as Simple lands onto the Kommo-O. It loses Overcoat or whatever else it could lose. Overcoat, that's actually a pretty interesting one because doesn't that make it to where accuracy is reduced on status moves, so that Dark Void even getting lower odds? And then if it was like bulletproof or soundproof or anything, it's like, yeah, you kind of lose out those benefits, but does it really matter when you're a pseudo legendary that has double every stat now? So I like that. And another thing that people might want to get clarification on is that when a Pokemon is simpled and it uses a Z move, the stats from the Z move itself. So say if you use a Z move and then the prerequisite for that Z move is gaining like +1 on the attack or +2 on the stats. Like we just saw Z Flash. So it won't give you +2 evasion if you have simple, but these stats boosted afterwards are affected. As you can see, rose sharply, rose sharply, rose sharply. So the effects of the Z move, the secondary effects after the Z move has finished, can be affected by simple, but the ones beforehand are not modified at all. So like Z Happy Hour just gives +1 to all stats even under simple. Now we have Zygarde on the field, and it's just bad. It's just bad for the opponent at this point, because now super effective hits, even with the split damage, like, it's still bad. So, and also the stats were boosted afterwards, so now Darkrai taking the full brunt of that damage, Zygarde getting completely swept out by this, and then there's no way of stopping it. Like, some Scarf Pokemon can't even keep up with this +2. And then Genesect has Technoblast for that follow-up damage, making life just a little extra harder on the opponent. So Marshadow comes in. Kommo just has Flash Cannon as well. Like, yeah, I don't even need to Soul Blade. Boom, die. Ooh, I was about to say, maybe Clinging Scales was the way to go then. Marshadow's just such a tanky Pokemon. And it went for the steal, and it could have stolen if it didn't go for the Z move. Like, that's why I'm not a huge fan of Marshadow's Z move, because you could have grabbed all the stats off the Kommo-O by doing this, instead of just going for the soul-stealing 7-star strike. Now, would that have ended the battle? Probably not, because Marshadow can only KO one Pokemon at a time, so the Genesect move is going to come through and do a lot of damage. And then whatever other Pokemon enter the field, those are also going to be able to do damage as well. And also, Kommo-O wouldn't have died. So it would have had its... Actually, yeah, the stat steal before the damage calculation. Okay, so Kommo-O would have died. And then giving Marshadow simple, because why not? I don't know what's going on anymore. All of a sudden, this battle just got weird. Yeah, there's the Clinging Scales for the damage onto the Marshadow. I'm trying to like figure out how much less damage that Flash Cannon was by comparison. Also, another thing about that is it does make the Kommo-O weaker, because Clanging Scales does reduce your stats, so that means you're simply reducing those stats after gaining plus onto them. What that means is Marshadow would have grabbed negative defenses off that. Now, it would still have had a lot of speed and a lot of damage outside of it, and then Murkrow could have also started to shut it down as well. And that, oh my goodness, okay. Now I see where the rest of this team is going, and I hope we get to see it in another battle. So let's go into this next battle. Pretty much same stuff, but instead of having the Silvally, we now have a Venusaur, and Mega Venusaur just doesn't go anywhere. Once it Mega Evolves, it's bulky, it still hurts, it threatens a lot of different Pokemon. So yeah, it's a pretty nice Pokemon to have in this situation as well. That's going to be Houndoom Lycanroc opening. Got it. And then we're going to see Kommo-O Genesect. So I can't wait. I hope that Kommo-O fails at some point in these battle submissions, because I see where the rest of the team is going, and it's going to be some amazing stuff. But I mean, at the same time, like, how are you going to stop the +2 everything Kommo-O? So that is going to be the Mega Houndoom showing up right now, and Kommo-O also has like some decent stats initially, so it's hard to like immediately blow up the Kommo-O in this double situation. Genesect. Looks like we're also looking at some new tech right here. Is this a future Fan Friday submission? The freaking like dog team with the attract on the Lycanroc. That could get weird if that starts going off. So yeah, there we go. So, and then Genesect, that's also a threat. Like, you need to stop this mythical Pokemon that can do scary things. So Kommo-O is going to be immobilized by Love. It just happens. And then Inferno is going to just wreck the Genesect. All right. So I don't think we're going to see the cool stuff that I want to see. Because what I was thinking is you simple the opponent, and then Murkrow comes in on that Prankster, and now we have a simpled opponent that's losing stats at an incredible rate. Also, we have the Quash right there that's also providing further support for the Kommo-O. So this Murkrow is immensely supporting the Kommo-O, and even with Kommo-O having simple and then losing defensive stats, it's going to be okay, because you can Feather Dance the opponent to lower their attack to offset that defense drop, and then Kommo-O is still going to feel pretty tanky overall. And then my thought is, okay, you have a Silvally next to a Murkrow. How is the opponent going to damage you? You have like a Mega Venusaur next to a Murkrow. How is the opponent going to do anything to you? But it looks like, and that's also what I was talking about. So even when the Kommo-O gets shut down on the first turn from that attract, doesn't get to do anything, the focus is also going to be potentially onto the Genesect as well. So because that Genesect getting focused, Kommo-O had a bad first turn and still got to do what it wanted to do. And then Lycanroc just gets wrecked by it as well. So the simple was able to go off. So now we're going to see just all those stats going on to the Kommo-O. Sludge Bomb. Loses Bulletproof potentially, except for the Overcoat and all these other things. But still doing just fine. Still not taking much damage. And now we have the Prankster Murkrow to shut down what the Mewtwo wants to do. That's just wrong. That's just... It's over. You just quash the Mewtwo. What can it do now? So +2 Clang Scales onto the Mewtwo. Not gonna be enough damage to take down. Is this like tank Kommo-O? I feel like the damage should be more when you have the Clang Scales doing double. Even with the split in doubles like this, like Kommo-O should be doing a lot more damage, I feel. But it goes down to the Side Strike as well. So the Quash, like I can see where the Quash works. Anything faster than the Kommo-O, you just want Quash. But after you gain all those stats with the Clanging Scales, I would imagine that you don't want to do that. So now we're going to see Necrozma come in, and it's going to be the Ultra Necrozma next to a Mewtwo versus the Murkrow and the Mega Venusaur. Now this is what I want to see. This is why I wanted to see the strategy just kind of get even crazier with how this Murkrow just makes these plays happen. Like that's what I want to watch, just the shutdown come through. So Mega Venusaur doing its thing, Necrozma with that Photon Geyser. So that's actually very threatening damage onto the Venusaur. Does Murkrow carry the 2v1? I don't know what's happening in this battle anymore. Like, that's gonna be an Aura Sphere from Mewtwo, so solid neutral hit onto Murkrow. Murkrow has the foul play though, alright. So there's Murkrow's damage. That's gonna be enough to finish off the Mewtwo right there. Yeah, I guess it was a really wishful thinking to have the Ultra Necrozma super effective hit, you know, have the Venusaur survive that. So the Psychic is like the weakness that we see from it. You don't see that too often. But Ultra Necrozma coming in with the Sunsteel Strike, Murkrow will tank it and then throw out the foul play into the Necrozma. Is that all it takes to beat Ultra Necrozma? Just something to survive one hit and then foul play? Dang. That happened. Alright. I want to do some damage calculations on this Kommo-O because I would have expected that at that +2, things get absolutely ridiculous from the Clangorous, or just the Clanging Scales. Wow. That actually hurts my feelings. So I was like pumping up this Kommo-O so much. I'm like, yo, like how do you stop it? We got the simple on the Kommo-O. We're doing ridiculous things. And even like in the best case scenario, we have Modest. We got that +2, we get the high amounts on the special attack, like we're just going for the most damage possible. Mewtwo survives it in doubles, doesn't survive in singles, so it does take that +2, but then the doubles is like where it falls apart and we see about the right amount of damage. Maybe it's like Timid or something else on the Kommo-O, but yeah, that happens. So I guess what this battle does is it really makes you think about like the Clang Scales, the Clangorous Soulblaze, and like what the Kommo-O is capable of in doubles, because that double split does cut the damage down significantly, and while in singles, you know, that +1 is pretty impactful. As we can see, we're losing the items. So I mean, technically, while we don't have the speed or stats behind it, you know, a Choice Bandit or a Choice Specs Kommo-O is effectively capable of the same things damage-wise, so we do need that little bit of extra boost from the Simple. But as we can see, the Simple, is it better to have the +1 Kommo-O with an also very sweepy, very strong Pokemon next to it, or better with the +2 Kommo-O that can also have like a threatening supportive Pokemon? Now we did see the potential Techno Blast out of the Genesect, and Genesect's a pretty good sweeper as well. So I guess it's about balance. It's so weird because I already mentioned having Pokemon focus down the Genesect is a good thing. But then if there's not enough damage for Kommo to follow up after that, not as much of a good thing. And then we just saw, like, yeah, the Murkrow was actually very MVP in a lot of this. That was able to suppress the opponent's speed while Kommo was set up. It was able to get a lot of other things done. I did it. I'm still shocked that, like, the foul play, that's how you remove the Ultra Necrozma. It's just a simple foul play just like that. And yeah, I guess it was a little too wishful for the Venusaur, but I'd imagine that Silvally next to Murkrow is equally terrifying in how much you can just shut down the opponent and then also find just more damage. I think that's the idea, is like you just weaken the opponent's stats and then you start finding more damage on the Silvally. Maybe you set up a Swords Dance, or maybe it uses like Tailwind and then just outspeeds and hurts. I don't know. But there's some cool stuff going on, and that's going to be it. So hope to see you guys in the next Fan Fridays.